Right, guys. So 8 o'clock. Let's get started. So let's everybody mute themselves, and you're going to have to unmute yourselves in a second anyway, because I'm going to have some questions that I need to know to find out how everyone's going first of all to get started. So whoever's been trading this last week and has got some result, whether it be good, bad, indifferent. Let's share some results first of all. How's everybody doing?
I have some results.
Oh, go ahead, Marilee.
Well, of course, you know that I was traveling last week for 10 days with my birthday celebration.
That's a hell of a job to travel for 10 days in the same week.
I know. Well, another week, a second week. But anyway, on Friday night, I had a trade that was down about $11 or $12, and I thought, okay, I'm going to close that before the end of the day, and we go into Saturday and Sunday, and I forgot about the time change. So the market closed, and I didn't get it stopped. And Monday I looked at it, and it was coming up, and I ended up closing it at $45.
That'll do.
Yeah, it worked.
So potentially you were looking at a loss turn into a profit. So how did you finish for the week, Marilee?
I only did 2 trades. I lost on one. It went to stop loss.
Okay.
So quick, but it just.
But now you're back, and now it's time for you to start trading.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, hopefully tonight's going to clear some things up, I hope. So, okay, I'm going to go around the room and let's just see how everybody's doing. Tez, unmute yourself for a second, please, mate.
Yeah, me, Rog.
So how did you do last week?
Not too bad. I've just had a look on the calendar bit, and I've just clicked on last week's. It's give me 129.86.
129.86.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much did you start the week with?
I'm not sure. I know when you know when I've said to you that I started on like 180 probably,
yeah.
And we've had 2 pretty bad weeks, haven't we? Really,
yeah.
With everything else. I'm on 629 now.
So over a period of what, 4 weeks?
4, 5 weeks, yeah, 4 weeks probably, yeah.
So
and 2 was decent weeks, and 2 was bad weeks. Know, pretty bad weeks, I suppose.
So really, that's like getting 25% per week, really. Averaged out over the 4 weeks. That's more than that's more like 50% per week, isn't it? Averaged over the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a good result.
Yeah, nearly 600. Just.
It's trebled your money. Yeah, it's trebled your money. Happy days.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, right. Femi. Where's Femi? Have we lost? No, he's still there. Femi, unmute yourself for a moment, please, mate. Let me unmute you. Okay, we're having problems with Femi again. We need to figure this one out on Wednesday for you, Femi. The last time I spoke to Femi about his results was on Thursday. And by Thursday, Femi had been trading for 3 days and had made a crazy. He started with $500 and he'd made a crazy amount of profit in the space of 3 days. He like nearly doubled his money in 3 days. I haven't seen his screen. He's back again. Femi, can you speak now? No, he's still muted. Let's try and unmute you. Right, you can speak now, Femi.
Okay, just a minute.
Fabulous.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're seeing the shop, but fine. Okay, Femi, tell people the results you got last week.
Well, last week, because week before the last, I was very, very slow. And where I had some losses and some pluses, but the total of last week was 389 pounds.
389.
Yeah, that's a profit.
And you started with 500.
Well, actually, I started with 200, Then I top it up with 300 extra, but I didn't use that at all. So
Okay.
the trading has been going with the 200 I put initially.
Right. Okay. But you made 389
Yes.
last week. 380. Amazing. And we've actually we've been talking to Femi's brother, and we're going to get his brother and a bunch of other people on the call on Wednesday. And we're going to share that story, because the crazy thing is Femi owns his own shop. You can see he's in the shop right now. Femi works crazy hours. How many hours would it take you? I know I've already asked you the question, but tell everybody else, how many hours would it take you to make £389 in profit in your shop?
Well, I would say the shop actually, it's for a month, if I can make 1,000, 1,002, maximum 3, I'll say that's great for a month.
For a month.
And now, I'm making 389 for just a week, which I think probably if you have a better week, it might even be better. If you have less week, it might be less. But if a month, I can make here £1,000, just spending maximum of 5-10 minutes a day to copy and paste. I think compared to the about 16 hours I'm working in the shop every day, 7 days a week, I think it's nothing.
Yes, it is a really powerful story. And in fact, Femi's profits dropped a little bit from when we were talking the other day.
Yeah.
But we all know that that's the nature of it. The thing is that we know that these trades are working like crazy right now. And it seems to some of us have been around for a long time. Some of us have been around with this for over a year now. And it seems to take forever. In fact, Adrian's been around this business longer than anybody else, because Adrian actually sort of asked to be transferred across to this team from another team. He's been around longer than Simon. And we've all seen tough goings with this business, up and down, up and down, up and down. And really, we cracked it when Joe and Corey came across a couple of months ago. And Joe told us that he was initiating these trades, and these are all the trades that are coming out of Mexico. And this is why his Mexican team has grown like crazy. And all of a sudden, it's duplicating over here and it's happening over here. We're growing like crazy, because you all know the number of people that we're putting into the team. You know how frequently we're saying hello to new people every single day. Yeah. So you can see where the future's going. So let's get on to what we wanted to talk about for tonight. And let's go through the bits that everyone else was asking questions about. So I'm going to start this from the top. And I said I was going to cover 3 different topics tonight, so I'm not going to spend a fortune on any one of them. But I want to just get into everything quickly and make sure we cover as much as possible. So the first thing is trading questions. So I said to you all yesterday, what questions have you got? Put them in here before midday, just so that I know what you want to answer. And I only got one answer. So presumably everybody's happy and everybody's an expert, and that's cool. I'm happy with that. But we have one question, and that came from Femi here, and this is the question. And really, it's the biggest question that we've had all week from everybody. And whenever we get a trade alert that says it's a sell stop or a buy stop or a stop limit, a sell stop limit, whatever it may be, a pending order, the phones go into meltdown. Telegram goes bananas. Everybody starts asking the questions. Other people are shooting the answers back. It goes backwards and forwards, and we get 30 messages in a row before you can actually place the trade. And that's without looking at WhatsApp, because WhatsApp's even worse. If you look in the WhatsApp group, it just goes nutty there. The thing is, what happens from what I see is that the explanations come out, everybody says everything's okay, and we get on with it. And then the next trade comes out that's a sell stop, and the same questions come out again. And I know we're bringing new people in all the time, so you can expect the same questions coming from new people, except a lot of the times it's the same people asking the same questions. And you're like, well, didn't they listen last time? And probably they did. The question is, was the answer good enough? Was the explanation good enough? So I want to go through the explanation properly on here. This is the alert this week that sent everybody into meltdown again. And it was a sell stop on the US dollar to the Japanese yen. And we get the usual questions, like as soon as it comes out, all of a sudden the phones light up with what does sell stop mean? And when that answer comes up, a few people share the little diagram that says sent out yesterday to try and explain it. And some people refer people to videos. Simon Kendrick made a video on it. And Simon Kendrick does a very good job of explaining it with charts. And it's very easy to explain it with charts. The problem is when you explain it with charts, you confuse hell out of people anyway, because the minute you put a chart in front of someone, their eyes glaze over and they all lose the will to live. So I want to give you an explanation that doesn't involve using charts. So I want you to understand exactly what it is. So first and foremost, a sell stop is sent out when a trader sees a trade and the price is going down and he doesn't see any sign of it coming back up. It's still possible for us to make a profit on it, even though the price is going down. And this is how it works. First of all, the price that you want to go in is lower than the price that it's at right at this moment. So I should have rephrased that differently when I put it on there. I put the current price is higher than we want. So that's the price on the moment the trader sent it out is higher than the price that we want to go into. And there's a reason for it. The reason we can't just do a market execution on it, because if you do a market execution and you go to put a stop loss in, you can't put a stop loss in that is lower than the price that it's at right now. So if you just do a market execution on that and you're not bothered about trying to, or you want to put a stop in it, you can't do a stop loss on it. You can only do a take profit. Now, if for some reason that bounces back and it turns round and the price starts to go up, you can lose your shirt because you haven't got a stop loss in it, but you couldn't set that stop loss above. So what we have to do is we have to set that price lower than the current price. So let's imagine at the time that was going out that the price for it was at 112.00, and the trader thinks this is just diving and it's absolutely plummeting. So what he said to you is, what I want you to do is go in and set the price at, you will buy into this trade at 111.36, and you set a stop loss at 111.8. Now that's just a little bit lower than we're at right now. So it means if the price bounces back up, we can only lose a little bit. So you go in at this lower price right now, and then you set your stop loss, the same as normal, and you set your take profit the same as normal. And that's the mechanics of it. And we can put that explanation out to people and we can do it until we're blue in the face, but some people just don't quite understand exactly what it is. Now, there is an image that we've sent out and I've split it into two sides for the sake of explaining it. So the stop side of it is this. If you go for a sell stop, which is the bottom one, the reason the trader sends a sell stop out is because the price is falling and he sees no chance of that price coming back. It's just falling, 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 but he wants to capitalize on it. So the way to capitalize on it is put a sell stop. So we put an order at a price that's below the price that we're at right now. The price keeps on going and we take profit before it bottoms out and turns back. If the price is going up, then, and there's no sign that it's going to drop back down again, then for the sake of putting stop losses in again, we then place a buy stop and we put the price is in so that the stop loss is just below where we're coming in at. So again, we're still safe. Come what may, these are the safest orders that you can get. Now, the other side of those pending orders is the limit orders. And this is where the price is fluctuating, and let's say the price is falling right now. But the trader thinks that, you know, we see Corey doing his graph, and he talks about I've forgotten what graph it is right now, the Elliott waves. And Corey talks about his Elliott waves, and he said it does a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then A, B, C retractions, yeah? So it goes up, comes back down again, goes back up again. This is what the trader thinks is happening with this one. He sees that on this one, the price has gone up, now it's gone into a dip, and he thinks it's going to come back up again. So we set a buy limit, and we put a limit of the price that we're going to buy in at. So when it's coming down, we're going to buy just in time for it to come back up again, and we stay safe. Or a sell limit because the price is going up, but we think it's going to peak out and then it's going to drop back down again. That's the principle of these things. And in my head, I had that crystal clear. The question is, does everyone else understand what the hell I'm talking about? If anyone doesn't, this is your moment to ask.
Roger, can
Yes.
I just ask? I think I understand it when it comes out and it's actually on the alert. When it comes out and it's on the alert and it says what to do, then I find that straightforward. I think my confusion's always been when it comes out and it hasn't, it's got like an entry price.
Yep.
And then you've got to decide which one it is. And then that takes me more time to think about it. I always understand what to do, but it's just, I don't know, I find it really difficult, even with all the information in the graph. But I think Cynthia helped me out by saying, if you actually enter the wrong one, so if it's on a sell, you can't enter the sell stop if it is a sell limit.
Yep. Nope, you're quite right. Yeah.
So yeah, that helped me out. But I think it's just, I think because we were quite, our hands were held a lot with Kavera, because when we got the trade alerts, it was, everything was there, and suddenly we went to Telegram, and not only was that information not there, we were in a different language, and I think it just threw everybody at the beginning, really. We had so much more to think about when we never had to think before.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. So I think that's the only thing for me that's sort of been like a stumbling block that kind of put me off for a little while. I didn't trade for a couple of weeks because I wasn't quite sure, and I kept doing market execution and things like that. But I think when Cynthia said that you can't do it wrong, that's helped my confidence that I know I can't sort of blunder on it.
Good. Well, the thing is, if you look at that trade that we have here now,
yeah,
the diagram above it, you can see why it's a sell stop, because it's just coming down and it's not going to bounce up. So you can see why they've done it. So that price, if we know that that stop loss is going in there, then we just want to be buying in sometime. Oops. We want to be going in sometime before that stop loss, because that price is, we want to be going in. We don't want the stop going in before the stop loss. We want to be going in with that stop loss set, but we want to be going in sometime after that price, because the price is going down and down and down and down and down. So we can go in any time after 111.8, and you can just go in safely. If you're buying in at that price at 111.36, then when you buy in at that price, then you're actually just making that gap there, and you're making more profit. But those instructions are relatively clear.
Yeah.
For everyone, but this diagram is the bit that needs to sort of, for people to get into their head. So when you see a stop loss, it's because the price is coming down, and it's only coming down. If you see a buy stop, it's because the price is going up, and it's only going up.
Okay.
It's quite rare to see buy limits coming out or sell limits coming out, but when they come out, it's because the trader thinks that we're going to drop down a little bit and bounce back up. But the trader's got to be really confident to put that out. A trader's putting his neck on the line a little bit saying that one.
Mm.
So when these traders actually make something like that as an assertion, you've got to think that these guys have done their homework quite clearly and they know what they're talking about with that. These trades are working like crazy for us. We don't lose that many of them now. We all have bad days, but in general, we're all making profits on it. So we can trust the trades, but you need to understand them a little bit as well. So, Femi, you were the one who asked that question. Has that cleared it up for you? I can't say. Hang on a sec. Let's unmute you.
Hearing me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my problem is that this is clear when it says sell stop or buy stop.
Yes.
But when the alert comes in and I cannot place the order immediately,
Yeah.
and when I go to the, I've seen that the active price is higher or lower. So I'm a bit confused that, okay, so to how many points it have to be lower or higher than the original price I had to put a sell stop or a buy stop or whatever. So I'm totally confused there. I don't know if I have to do anything then or just take
No,
the
to place it, it's very simple. When you want to place a pending order, when you go into, and I actually wanted to do screenshots of this today, but I didn't actually start to put this presentation forward until today. And because it's today, I couldn't go in and do a trade because the markets are closed. So I couldn't put these in. I will do something and I'll capture these screens for you over the next few days so I can put them in to do a pending order. But the way it works is you go into the currency pair. So you go into USD JPY.
Yeah.
Once you go in, you have a choice of the type of the deal that you're going to select. Now, by default, it's market execution. You click on that and you change it to pending order. Okay, just you click on market execution and there is a little drop down, pick on pending order. Then underneath that, it says type of order. You click on that and it then says buy stop, sell stop, buy limit, sell limit. So you collect each one of the, whichever one of those it is. And then you have your price already set in. So you're going to put the price in there at 111.36, just as the trader sent you. You set your stop loss the same as the trader sent you. And you set your take profit the same as the trader sent you. That's it. So those are your numbers. They're set.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just how you actually collect it when you actually put it into the trade. So when you put it into the trade, you're just going to select pending order and then select the type of pending order. And that's it.
Okay.
All right. What I will do sometime this week, I will catch that on video just so we can show people. Sorry, was someone else going to say something then?
No, it's still me. Still me just want to say that in that case, if the diagram we've seen here now,
Yeah.
I'll look at the price we were given, the initial price.
Yeah.
Put the initial price there.
Yes.
I have to see how the market goes. If the market is already above, the price of the market above or more than what we are given.
It's a sell stop, so it's falling. The market's falling.
Okay, no, I'm not talking just about this one we get now, the USD JPY.
Yeah, but any sell stop will be the same. Doesn't matter what currency it is. Any sell stop, the market will be falling, just like this.
Okay.
That's why it's a sell stop, because the market's falling. If the market is just going up and there's no sign of it changing, it becomes a buy stop and it won't vary. And if the market is fluctuating, but the trader thinks we're just at the point where it's just about to change direction, then the trader may say a buy limit and he'll put the numbers in, and again, the numbers will come in for you. Or if he thinks it's about to change downwards, and he'll put a sell limit and the numbers will be in there for you. So the numbers are already provided for you. So don't worry about the numbers. The trader's going to
Yes.
stop them down. You only need to know the mechanics of how you actually place the order.
Yes,
And that's the
the
one
point.
beauty
Yeah.
of what we do right now, because
Yeah.
if you were trying to figure this out for yourself, like a traditional Forex trader, you're going to sit there with a graph and you're going to try and predict which way it's going to move. We don't have to do any of that. That's the stuff that takes hours. Yeah?
Yeah.
We don't have to do any of that. You just take the information that you're given and copy and paste what it says. Nice and simple. Don't worry
Okay.
about overthinking it or overcomplicating it or saying I don't understand it. You don't really need to understand what the currency is doing or why it's doing it. The trader has done that for you. Your job's very simple. Place the trade, take the profit. Yeah. And then we just move on to just trying to make money with everything else that we do. Because
Okay.
the one thing that we have to say, and we've got to stress on here, is that none of us are traders. I am not a trader. I have no desire to be a trader. Sitting watching charts bores me rigid. You know, and I don't want to do. I've done it in the past. I did it years ago, and I sat there with 2 monitors, and I had 16 different charts, and it leaves you bug-eyed. Honestly, I really don't want to do it. Yeah. So just stick with what we're doing, because what we're doing is working nice and simple. Anybody else got any questions with it? Go on, Femi, you got another question? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, actually, probably we just understood each other. No, what I got this right when we're giving the order to buy stop or sell stop or whatever,
Yeah.
to follow that. But what I'm asking is that, do we have to apply this buy stop or sell stop ourselves if
No,
the
the numbers
price?
are provided for you. They're there.
Yeah. Just please let me finish. If this, okay, I've got this price number here.
Yeah.
Say 111.36. Say then before I place the order myself, the active price, that is the current price, when I'm placing it, is going to 112 point something. So do I have to put the
Yeah, if the price is 112.36,
yeah,
if the price is
at the
111.2, you put the price that you want to buy at as being 111.36.
yes, then click on buy stock.
Yes.
Okay, that's the point I'm trying to get.
So, no, you put
Thank
sell
you.
stop because it's a sell
Yeah.
stop.
Oh yeah, because it's sell. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's sell now. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's buy, then I put it buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on what we give it. Yeah, that's the point.
The price,
I've been
that
confused.
price, that 111.36, that will not be the price at the moment that the trader has sent it out. The price will be higher than that when the trader sent it out. What he's saying is that's the price you should buy in at.
Buy that. Yeah. Okay.
So that's the price that you
think it's
set.
clear now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Right. Anybody else? You'll need to. If there is anybody else, you're going to have to mute yourself because I can't see everybody's face on here. No. Okay. Right. In that case, still unmute yourself. If there's any other questions on Forex before I move on to anything else, if there's anything else that's cropped up during the week that anyone's confused with, shout out right now. And give everybody a second to unmute themselves if there's anything coming. And if there isn't, okay, right. One thing I do want to say, just for everyone when it comes to Forex, we've got something that's working right now, but you guys are, whether you've been in for a year or a week right now, you are now the future leaders with this. Our team's growing every single day. And as our team grows, there are new people coming on who they're going to be joining your team. They're going to be asking you questions. You're the leaders and you're going to be answering those questions. There's a couple of things that we have to tell everybody. When these new trades come through, these trades all come through in Spanish, as we all know. It's everyone's responsibility to translate what the trades say from Spanish into English. Because it blows my mind. We tend not to see it in our Telegram group, but it blows my mind in the WhatsApp group how many people see a trade come through in Spanish and someone says, what does that say? In the majority of times it's saying the same thing. Yeah, there's always a new guy who says, what does it say? And then someone else goes out and goes onto iTranslate or Google Translate, copies and pastes the translation for them. And what it means is when the next one comes through, they say, what does that say? And no one takes responsibility for doing their own translations. Now, the thing is, when we've got 30 odd people in this group right now, and it's manageable. We've got 80 odd people in the WhatsApp group and it's becoming unmanageable. When we've got 300 people, it will drive every one of us round the bend. Yeah. So we need to sort of tell people when they come on board, look, you must get into your head that you copy and paste it and you check the translation. Now, if the translation then comes out and once you've got it translated into English, you don't understand what it is, ask. By all means, ask. But don't say, what does it mean because I don't understand Spanish? Because I don't understand Spanish. I have to copy and paste it. Yeah? And everyone else has to as well. So you need to make sure that you tell people that. And it's a question of being a little bit tough at first, and you tend to think that you have to hold people's hands. And I can understand that, but you can hold people's hands too much. And we don't make any progress when you hold people's hands too much. We're all called independent distributors, and we've got to teach them to be independent. Okay, so let's move on to the next subject. So we're changing colour, because I had 3 colours for my pens at the start of it, on the first thing. So we're going to talk about inviting prospects, because the things that we do that make money with this business are really, really simple. All that we do is we place our trades and we make profit. We invite prospects to look at the business, they join us, and we make future profits. And then we work on building the team and getting the royalties. And I'm going to talk about all 3, but inviting prospects. First thing, first rule, do not try to sell this to people, because if you try to sell this to people, you're fighting a losing battle. Instead, tell stories. People like to tell stories. So who are you going to invite? Well, I mean, the short answer is invite everybody, but what I don't understand is trying to go on to taking Facebook as the first route to go for and inviting strangers and trying to put trying to tell people why they should join something that they weren't even thinking about joining. The thing is, when it comes to actually buying and selling anything, is that everybody likes to buy things, but no one wants to be sold to. And Jamie, you should know this. Jamie, you've worked in a car dealership the same as me. How many times have you seen a customer walk into a car showroom? He's only come in for one reason. He's thinking about buying a car. And you walk across and say, can I help you? And the guy turns around and says, no, you're all right, thanks, mate. Nobody wants to be sold to. And when you pitch this as if you're trying to sell this to anybody, you're just fighting a losing battle. The reality of it is, you need to start talking to people, but you need to start listening first of all, not doing all the talking. So you don't open the conversation and start talking about what a fantastic business we have, why it's going to be amazing, why you should do it, why this, why that, why the other, everything else. They're not interested. Instead, start by listening, by finding out about them, by asking questions about them. And I hear loads and loads of people who turn around and tell me that they don't want to talk to their family and friends until they've got some results. And part of me says, I can understand that. Intellectually, I can understand that. But the fact is that on day one, when I got started, I sent messages to about 30 people that I knew from the past and said, I've just seen something and I want to talk to you about it. One of them is on the call right now. Merrily, you heard speaking before, was one of the very first people I sponsored right from day one. Yeah. Now, I've known Merrily on and off, although we've never met face to face because I've never been to the States, but we've worked with another company, and I've known Merrily for about 6 years. And when I contacted Merrily, I turned around and said, I found something that I think can be amazing. And we had a conversation about it. And that's what I did. I spoke to people that I know. And on day one, I spoke to about 30 people that I know, and 12 of them joined me on day one. And in my first 3 weeks, I think I sponsored something like 22 people in my first 21 days, just by talking to people that I know. But what I talked to people about was what it was they were looking for. And when I have conversations with them now, I'm asking what it is that they're interested in. Because if you turn around and you start talking about money straight away, it's true. Everybody is interested in money. Everybody wants to make more money. But not many people are really driven by money. But there are some things that motivate hell out of people. And the things that can motivate hell out of people could be that they need a new house. They want a bigger house. I was talking to, there's a guy who was on this call 2 weeks ago, and he's in Jamaica at the moment. He'll be back this week, Terry. When I first started talking to Terry a few weeks ago, the conversation was all about Terry and what motivates him and what it is he's working for. And he said he's looking to buy a piece of land because he wants to buy a piece of land and build a house. And it's going to be the last house he'll ever build. And, he was a builder by profession, and he just wants to go and buy the plot of land somewhere in the country and just chill out and relax, and that's it. And it may be in this country, it may be another country, but he needs a chunk of money to do that. And that's like music to my ears, because when I hear that, I've got the reason why Terry should join us. So the reason why FX1 is a solution for Terry is because FX1 can provide him with a regular source of income that will grow week in, week out, to provide him with the money that he needs to get the piece of land that he wants to build his house. And it's 1,000 times more powerful than just saying to someone, you should do this because everybody else is making money. Because they're not bothered about everybody else, they're bothered about themselves. But for Terry, because I can turn around and I can say, and that way you can get the house that you want, you can get the piece of land that you want, Have you seen a piece of land? Where is it? And we can paint that picture in his head, and there's more chance of him joining. So listen to people, find out what the dreams are, find out what it is that really, really turns them on. And then, once you get to that point, once you know what the reason is, then it's time to start to invite them, but only once you've got them interested. So make sure that you know that they're interested in what we have, because they've got a reason they can hang on it, and then ask them if we can show them a way that they can make the money that they need to get them what they want, whether it be the new family car, the new house, whatever it may be. Once we've got that, ask them if we can provide something that's going to do that, would they be interested in knowing some more? And if yes, they want to know some more, then you make the invitation for them. And the invitation has just got to be a very clean and simple invitation. Don't complicate it. Don't get anything too fussy about it. First thing you need to check is, are they free on Wednesday at 8 p.m? A few people turn around and say, why choose Wednesday at 8 p.m? What if they're not available? Can we just send them the video? Yes, you can just send people a video. You can send people a video anytime you want, 24/7, 7 days a week. Problem is, people don't necessarily look at it. Or even if they do look at it, you don't know when they've looked at it, because they put things off. People by nature procrastinate. If it's Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and you know that they're going to be on, you can see on the screen. Right now, you can look, and we can see down the side, and we can see 5 faces. If we look at the top, there's a button that says about participants, and you can see how many participants there are on. So I know here that there's 13 people on, and I can see them all by name. So I know exactly who's on, and I can check. So if I invite someone to come on the call, I know that they're there if they come on a live call. That's why the live call is hugely important. If they can't make the live call, then you have to turn around and go with the video. If you've got to go with a video, then I would find out what time they're likely to be able to watch it. And I probably would pin them down to a time and then say, I'll send you the link just before then, and set a time for them to call you back after that. But for the sake of the rest of this, we're just going to talk about Wednesday at 8. So once we know that, yes, they're going to be on Wednesday at 8, then Tell them that access to that call is limited. And Simon and I have said this for sort of 6 months now, but access to this call really is limited, because right now, for the last 3-4 weeks, we're hovering around about 50 people. If every one of us invited one guest on, we'd be at 100 people. And at 100 people, that call's going to max out. I've only seen it happen once so far with this business, when the call's maxed out. And when the call's maxed out, it's really exciting, but it's a pain in the backside if you're a prospect who can't get on. If everyone who comes on the call invites 2 prospects and they all turn up, then we can't guarantee that they're going to get on the call. So when we tell them that access is limited, access really is limited, providing everybody's actually working. And the final key is get them to promise to either be there or tell you that they can't make it. And I would labour this, particularly if you're talking to one market, you're talking to friends, I would labour this like nothing else. So here's a script. When they show interest, I'm literally going to tell them stories, first of all, that they can relate to. And you start off with all the stories that you've heard from now. So we tell them about Cynthia's story, because Cynthia now has a very powerful story. We tell them about Jonathan Rutherford, another powerful story. We tell them about Dora over in Denmark. Dora's a school teacher, and she started off making $30 a day. And for 2-3 weeks, she was making not $30, 30 euros a day. And she was quite excited about that, because in the real world, 30 euros a day, that means in the space of 1 week, she's covering her subscription. And then she's got 3 weeks of profit. And then she put some more money into it. And now Dora's consistently making 500-600 euros every single week. I don't know what school teachers get paid in Denmark, but she's not getting far away from matching her salary just from trading. Femi, you heard Femi's story. Femi's been with us for just a few weeks now, but it was really only last week that he started trading Forex. And in his first week, he's made 389 pounds, not dollars, in his first week. So he's more than covered his subscription, plus made some more besides. And he has a powerful story to tell people. And I was talking with Femi yesterday, and we were talking to his brother in Lagos. And his brother's already excited about coming on board, and his brother's going to have a bunch of other people. And actually building your team becomes so much more easy when you actually have these stories to tell people. And obviously you tell people your own story. But the reality of it is we have more and more of these stories coming on board now. So collect all these stories as much as you can. Tez's story. Tez starting with 180 quid 4 weeks ago, and he's over £600 now in the space of 4 weeks. Where can you take 160 quid and turn it into £600 without without applying risk to it, or unnecessary risk to it? This is more certain that this is going to grow week in, week out. There isn't any other way of doing that I'm aware of that you can do that. So collect the stories and tell the stories. And now we're going to go into the script. Now, as ever, I'm going to make a PDF of this afterwards. I'm going to send the PDF so you'll have this script in front of you. But the script is really Simon Brooks's script. And don't turn into a parrot. Don't sort of learn this parrot fashion and repeat it or read it or anything else. Learn this and get this off and make this flow for yourself. So this is Simon Brooks with a bit of Roger Garth in it. And what you really want to do is make it this script with a bit of Simon Payne in it, or a bit of Tez Clark in it, or a bit of Jamie Booth in it. Yeah? You just put yourself into it. But this is my version of it. So it starts off by just saying, John, if you like the idea of what I've talked about and you want to know a bit more, we're going to have a call on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. You can hear the whole thing explained, but you're also going to get to see some of the people I've told you about for yourself, so you can hear their stories and you'll be able to judge for yourself just how real it all is. And I've shown you my results, and you know it's working for me, and you know me. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. I've never seen anything like this before, and I'm making money at it. So places on the call are really, really limited, and I can only give 2 more people the chance to get on the call. And I'm talking to you first because you're one of my friends. I'm talking to some other friends as well, but I wanted you to get the first opportunity, the first refusal to go on it. But I'm only going to put a place to one side for you if you promise me, and I mean promise me, that you're going to be there. Because if you're not, I've got other people to invite. Will you be there? And wait for them to answer. Wait for the answer to come back. When you get the answer, labour it again. John, how long have we been friends, mate? And wait for an answer again. Great. Once he answers again, they say, look, I'm only talking to you first because we've been friends for that long. But I'll be really, really hacked off with you if you tell me that you're going to be there and you're not. So I need you to promise me that you're going to be on that call, because if you're not, I'm going to give the place to I'm going to give you someone else's place. If not, I want to give it to someone else. Do you promise me? Now, you can only really lay that heavily on someone that you do know personally. But if it's someone you do know personally, you come across so much more sincerely and literally get them to say the word promise. Because this is an amazing opportunity for people right now. Each and every one of you guys, most of you guys are placing trades, and if you're not placing trades, you need to get yourself to the point where you are placing trades. We're all making money out of this right now, so you need to do it. Now, just before the call, an hour before the call, contact them again, give them a link again, and confirm with them again that they're going to be on the call. Because the fact is, if they're not going to be on the call, you might have someone else you can call anyway, but you just want to know anyway, because there's nothing worse than actually going onto a call expecting someone to be there who's not there. So contact them again and confirm it, and it just gives it more credibility. But the stronger that invitation is, the better chance there is they're actually going to be on that call. And you know as well as I do that those calls, this last 3-4 weeks, there's a new dynamic to those calls. People are watching those calls and people are signing up because of them. And people are bringing new people onto those calls because they're seeing it. So we need to do that. So before we move on, any questions about inviting? All right, I can see Femi nodding. Go on.
Yeah, this is good. This was what I was waiting for, so I'm happy.
Yeah? Okay. Anybody got any questions? I can't see all your faces, guys, so you're going to have to shout out for me. So, because all I can see is Simon Payne, I can see Tez, I can see Femi, and I can see Tara, but I can't see anybody else. No other questions. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is the pay plan. Now, I wanted to talk about this last week, and everyone else wanted to talk about Forex, so we covered Forex instead. But this is really, really important because our pay plan's quite a simple pay plan, and yet it's not that simple as well because it's changed from when I first got started. When I first got started, that was the diagram for $500. This is what you do. You go out, you find 3 people, they find 3 each, and as soon as you do that, you earn $500. And I thought, that's nice and easy, I can do that. And I did do that. I did that on day 1. Now, I did it, but Simon said to me, he said, there's an easy way of doing it, and there's a fast way of doing it. The easy way of doing it is find 3, and then they find 3, and they find 3, and they find 3, and that's the easy way of doing it. The fast way is go and find 12, yeah, and just put them under the others, and that way you've done it, and you know you're there. So that's what I do. That's what I did. I chose to do it that way. So I found 12 people on day 1. And what I found is that pay plan works, but it had some faults to it. So what happened is Cuvera in the middle of last year came out with a new hybrid pay plan. And the hybrid pay plan, gotta say that right, has an amazing twist to it. And it was one that I loved because the fault with the pay plan was, I'm gonna go back up one page for a second. the fault with the pay plan is this. You find 3 and then they have 3 each and you earn $500. If this person drops out, oh, don't do that, I shouldn't have clicked. If this person here drops out, you don't get paid anything at all. Even if they're all there or they're all there. If this person drops out, this team's gone bananas and this team's gone bananas. This guy's doing nothing. This guy's doing nothing. This one drops out. You lose out. You don't get paid anything at all. And that happened to me in my second month. In my second month, I had one leg that just fell apart. There was a person that I sponsored in one leg who I thought was a real good friend, and he just decided that he wanted to try and steal my business. Merrily will remember it and remember all the hassle that we went through at the time. And it was a guy that I'd known for years, and I didn't think anything like that would happen, but he knocked me back massively. The new pay plan, it couldn't happen. The reason it couldn't happen like that is because Cuvera lets you build your team now as a binary in the first instance. We're effectively a trinary pay plan, but we're a hybrid. So we're a mix of the two. So until you get to earning $2,000 a month, you can build just 2 legs, and that makes that much simpler for you. Now, you still need to find those 12 people to get you to that $500. But the way to do it, rather than just go 3 by 3 by 3, is to get 2 people and then go down in a straight line underneath them and build it like a binary pay plan. It's quicker to get to $500. It's quicker to get to 1,000. It's quicker to get to 2,000. And it also means that new distributors get to rank advance faster. It's faster for new people to get to money. And that means that when new people get to money and they're making money with the trade alerts, they stick around. And when they stick around, your royalty becomes a royalty for life. That makes you more secure than ever before. So this is how the pay plan would look if you build it as a binary until you get to $2,000. So you start off with, you go out and you sponsor one, and then you sponsor another one. When you get your third one, you put your third one under this guy, and the fourth one goes under this one. And you don't necessarily put all the women down one line and all the men down the other, because that's sexist. And women get upset about that, and they get violent when they get upset, so we don't do that. I don't know who drew the diagram. I didn't draw the diagram. But you build down 2 legs, one under another, under another, under another. And down this one under another, under another, under another. And what happens is somewhere down the line, one guy doesn't do anything, and this guy does something, and this guy gets a few, and this woman gets a load down here. And they take care of the extra weight that you need to get the extra volume to rank you up. That diagram, in fact, with that diagram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 6 down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd only have 5 down there. That would say that you don't have enough to qualify for your $500, except you've got these people here as well. So you do qualify. And in fact, these people here are already pushing you up towards that $1,000 because they're over and above. So in fact, with this new pay plan, it's easier for you to rank advance through all of them. So here's how the pay plan works in simple language for you. Build 2 legs as a binary, 2 by 2 until you meet 2,000 a month. So to get to build Business Builder, you want 2 legs with a minimum of 6 people in each leg. Get that, and you've got $500 a month. To get to Executive, 2 legs with a minimum of 20 down each leg. Now, they don't all have to be in a straight line. They can be in any shape whatsoever. Doesn't matter, as long as this leg has 20 in it and this leg has 20 in it. Yeah. You still need to have 3 personally sponsored for any position. You must have 3 personally sponsored, but you can stack them one under another. And to get to Premier, you have to have 2 legs with 50 down one leg and 50 down the other. And some of the people that are on this call tonight are already well on the way on one leg. Yeah? I'm printing this off for you, Tez, so you've got it coming through, mate. Tez is a classic example because down one leg, Tez is well on his way to that. The other leg's the bit that he's got to build and he's got to grow. And that means that anyone who's in Tez's other leg is actually getting a real helping hand right now, because as far as Tez is concerned, he has to focus on that one leg. So he's going to put people under Graham and then under people under Graham, and so it goes down forward and it progresses in that line. So you will always have your sponsor helping you to build one leg of your business. Realistically, the way it should work is that your sponsor should take care of one leg for you and you take care of the other leg. And with every person that you bring on board, you're saying to them, look, I will take care of one leg because I'm going to build that one for you. I've got to build that for me. Yeah. And he concentrates on building the other leg because that's adding more strength to that side of it. And it works like crazy until you hit platinum. When you get to platinum, you're at $4,500 a month. But to get there, you have to have 3 legs with a minimum of 55 in each leg. Now, it's only 5 more than the previous one, but you've got to have that 3rd leg going. And believe me, because I haven't got there yet, it's a tough thing to achieve, but it's easier right now. The reality of it is getting to 2,000 a month and getting stable at 2,000 a month is much, much easier today than it was 12 months ago. So, questions on the pay plan. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now so we can all talk about it and discuss it. Right, let's open the microphones for everybody.
Roger, can I just ask,
Yes.
with regards to what you said about the sponsor helping, because I haven't got an active sponsor, how does that work for me? Do I just have to start from like the beginning, basically? Do I have to just do it without a helping hand?
9 times out of 10, you kind of have to say yes. In the real world, Sarah, we know your position. And we know your situation, and in fact, Simon's already trying to do something to help you.
Okay.
Because your upline is one of my uplines is Lindsay Jess.
Okay.
Yeah, who is one of my uplines. Yeah, and Lindsay disappeared shortly after I got started. And when I first got started, I mean, she looked like she was one of the shining stars, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
And she just disappeared out of thin air.
Lindsay Jess now.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Jamie saying that.
Couldn't hear him.
So when Lindsay just disappeared out of thin air, it meant that I didn't have any support there. Simon's trying to see if they can get you repositioned.
Okay.
I think you'll get some support.
Right.
And if he can get you repositioned to get you some support, then that will be a help. And in fact, what he was going to try to do is just move you further down the same leg, which would move you under me.
Okay.
And that will mean you get all the same support from me as well anyway. So,
okay.
But beyond that, the help that you need when it comes to answering questions are definitely going to be here anyway. When it comes to building your team, that's clearly slightly different. But if you need help when it comes to 3-way calls or anything like that, we'll still help anyway.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone else? Huh. Okay. All right. Have I covered everything that we needed to cover tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything that you guys would like me to be talking about next week that you think is going to help you? I can think of a bunch of things, but I want to be talking about the things that are actually going to mean something to you. Okay. going to go for the silent close, but I'm not going to bother with it now. Okay, all right. I'll tell you what I think is about them. I think what we should be looking at right now is spreading the word with as many people as we can and talking to as many people as we can. Now, I am a firm believer, despite what we talk about when it comes to marketing on Facebook and everything else, I am still a firm, solid believer in your market. And even to this day, I still, I'm a bit gutted that John didn't make it on here tonight, but I'm not surprised at the same time. But you know that I've just brought my brother into the business. So I'm still talking to my warm market. Yeah. I've got my best friend teed up to join the business. He needs a slack because he's not moving as quickly as I want him to, but he'll get that. I'm still talking to my warm market, and I still think you should still talk to your warm market. This isn't like any other business that you've been involved with before. You know what Simon Brooks says about pills, potions, coffee, bullshit, all that sort of stuff? I know he says it right now, but it's not like any other network marketing business you've ever been in. Because with every other network marketing business that you've been in, people have to go out, join a company, get some product, go out and sell it. And that's the hard bit, actually selling it, because they're selling something that most people don't want in the first instance before they can make any money. With this business, people can make money without actually having to go out and talk to other people. We just have the telegram alerts and they can make money.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Before I joined Covera, I recently joined a health and wellness company, probably 5-6 months before. So my clients, sort of a little bit of warm market, I've already approached them with the pills and lotions and that. So I find that when I come to talk about something else, a little bit of their defense mode has already gone up because previously they've been felt like I've sold them, I've sold to them.
And it does. And there's no two ways about it. It does. I've been there myself. I've had it every time. And you get to the point where you think, like, I'm not even going to talk about this one.
Yeah.
Problem is, if you don't talk about it, your business doesn't grow. But right now, you're talking to the world about it. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason why you're talking to the world about it, isn't there?
Yeah.
500, 600, £700 a week, grand a week. Yeah, you'll talk to the world about it, and you've got proof, and you can show people. The thing is, all of you guys are making money now. This isn't like any other deal you've been with before, because before, when you were with pills and potions, you couldn't turn around and say, if you buy this tablet, it's going to turn you into an Olympic athlete. But you can say, if you put this app on your phone and you copy and paste, you're going to make some money.
I tried to talk to my previous sponsor in my previous company.
Wow.
She got a bit
went down well, didn't it?
She thought I was trying to poach her business. She got very defensive.
Yeah, I bet she did. I bet she did. I mean, if you're talking to previous uplines, you're going to have people be defensive.
Yeah.
And it's like everything else. Like I said, when it came to inviting, when you're talking to prospects about building your business, it's all about what's in it for them. So if you're talking to your previous sponsor and your previous sponsor has a successful business, then they don't need our business.
I was more looking into be a product user. I know she won't. I'm not trying to recruit her to do the business. I'm just saying, would you use the Forex? You're making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a conversation that you have to have with people. And I don't have a problem with saying to people, because talking to my best friend, he's not into network. He was the guy who recruited me into network marketing in the first instance. Yeah. And for the last 25 years, he's been the biggest person to slag off network marketing to me more than anyone else in the world. It's one of those pyramid scams. Well, you got me into it. You know, it's insane. But he got me into it, and he's just completely anti it. Right now, he's coming round because now he sees me making money. And he was supposed to have joined last week. Last week was payday for him, and he said, "I'm going to join, and I'm going to put some money to one side." And he didn't. And I phoned up and I said, "I thought you were putting some money into one side." He said, "Don't." He said, "You know, we went out last week, and we'd been out last weekend, and his wife's lost a tooth right at the front, so that's urgent. So she had to have that fixed, and it cost 400 quid. And I said, yeah, I made that yesterday. He said, oh, don't. You just got to tell these stories and get people. But the thing is, you have a solution for them. You know, for him, his just as I said about Patrick, about Terry, we were talking to the other week. With Terry, we were talking about Terry's house and for his future. With Gordon, my mate, who's about to come on, for him, the motivator is the fact that he sold cars for 35 years now. Like me, he's made a 7-figure sum, but he's got nothing left, and he's now thinking in terms of retirement, and he wants to retire in a couple of years, and he wants to go and live abroad, the same as me, yeah. And I'm saying to him, well, this is your way out. This is your money for you to go away abroad. You don't have to get a job somewhere else. You go and live in a foreign country, live on the beach, wear your shorts and t-shirts, place a few trades, and the money's coming in. Happy days. And that's his motivator. What you have to do is the same as you heard me say before, and I'm going to send you all those comments before to tell you about it, but have the conversations with people and find out what their hot button is. You know, when we're talking to people my age, then retirement's going to be a hot button. When you're talking to people Cynthia's age, it's a different thing that's going to motivate them. Jamie made no secret. I think the last KISS event, Jamie said that he wanted to get a bigger house for their family. Yeah, you know, we all have at different stages in our life, we have different things that are important. But you find out what it is that motivates somebody, and the rest of it becomes easy. But if you just go in just saying you should join this because it's a great idea and I'm in it, it's hard work because you're a salesman. And I've been a salesman all my life, and I know how hard it is to sell to someone who doesn't want to buy. But when you go in with the approach that I have something that you want, the approach is that I have a solution to your problem, then all of a sudden you're not a pest, you're someone they want to talk to. And that changes it completely. So what I'm going to talk about next week is we're going to talk about how we can actually start having conversations with people and how we can maybe start using social media, because some of the things that I see people doing on social media puzzle me, to be honest with you. Some of the things that I see that go out there on social media just are never going to get people to respond to you. When you're putting things up on social media that get people to go, like, that's great, but I want people to get in touch, talk to me. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that next week, and we're going to talk about the marketing side of the business and how we can move our businesses on, because we're at a critical stage now. And right now we've got 2 weeks' time to fill that meeting hall in Haydock up the road from here. Yeah. And we're doing better than we've ever done before when it comes to filling that room. But I don't think we're halfway where we should be with it. We need to get a ton of prospects there, and we need every single one of you to have prospects there. And even Graham, as much as you're based thousands of miles away from us, but if you have anyone that you know through Facebook, anything else that you reach out to in the UK, then you just tell them to come there and speak to me, and I'll take care of them for you, and I'll close them, and we'll sign these people up in your name. So wherever you happen to be in the world, we can still build this business as a team, and we can make it work for you. Yeah, we really do have something. A year ago I was excited about this business. Today I'm more excited because today it's actually putting money in my bank. A year ago I knew it was going to put money in my bank. It arrived. Now the money's here, and it's the same for all of you guys. The money's actually here now. Go share it with people. It's a good story to share with people, isn't it? Paid now. All right, guys, anything else? If not, I'm going to wrap it up. We've done just over an hour, which is unusually long. Okay, right. Well, in that case, this one was recorded. Yeah, it was recorded. Set it in the back office so I didn't have to remember. So this one is recorded, so I'll put a recording out tomorrow, and I will send you the PDF So all the stuff that people were scribbling notes on and everything else, that's all going to be there for you as well. All right, guys. In the meantime, anything that you need, you know where I am during the week. And please, can I have some of you guys give me stories for Wednesday? I want Wednesday to have as many of my team as possible giving their stories. Yeah, and even if you're not in my team on this call, then you're honorary members as far as I'm concerned. So let's have your stories on Wednesday as well, just so that we can actually put as many different sides to the business so that the prospects are getting a better thing and we get more people nailed in. Right, guys, I will see you all next week. And everything else, you know where I am. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Roger.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.